Occasionally, when you're editing your PDFs, you're going to run across a situation where you've made a lot of changes and enhancements, and when you're nearing the final phase and you're ready to send your document out for distribution, you're going to find something like a small typo or a word change or some other text correction that needs to be made. Or maybe this happens to you all the time. So what do we do in this case? One option at that point is to go back to the original source file, fix the problem, and reconvert to PDF from scratch. But then you have to go back through and make all your enhancements, adding links, adding bookmarks and articles, setting views and transitions, and so forth. Now, you really don't want to have to go through all that trouble just to correct a typo or even to make minor text edits. Ideally, you'd like to be able to correct the text on the fly and move forward with your document publication. Acrobat does have text editing capability, and with Acrobat 11, we now have full text reflow capabilities that are more powerful than ever. So you can perform these kinds of minor touch-ups without having to start over. This is the document CFO-newsletter.pdf. We'll open the Tools pane and expand the Content Editing category. And here we find the Edit Text and Images tool. We'll zoom to fit the width of this document, and we'll select this tool. First of all, notice the boundary boxes around the editable text regions. This is new in Acrobat 11, and it's a hint at the editing power that's now available here in this latest version. When we move our cursor over the document text, it changes to the familiar I-beam cursor for text editing. At this point, we can click in the document text, and we see a blue rectangle showing the border of the editable text frame. Now, in order to edit text, you must have the very same font on your system as in the document. In some cases, converted PDFs can be a little finicky with font names and may give you a headache. For example, this document was created in InDesign, and in this case, we have the Arial font, which is on this system. Notice over here on the right-hand side, new in Acrobat 11, we have full text formatting capabilities, similar to what you'd find in a word processor. In older versions of Acrobat, we saw some odd behavior with text editing and touch-up, especially related to fonts, but Acrobat 11 seems to be much more highly tuned. In fact, Acrobat's new word wrapping text edit feature has become quite robust. If we click right here to set the insertion point, we can add text that not only causes the text to wrap and reflow, but it actually enlarges the text box to fit. We can also click the next box down and grab the handles to reposition and resize to move it around to better position it with the added text. If we scroll down to page 2, we see here a bulleted list. If we right-click here, we have a new option, Add List Item. We'll select that, and we see the new list item appears here. We can type in some text, and if the text box isn't the right size for the column, we can just grab the handle and drag it into alignment. Once we've made our text edits, we can save our document and continue preparing to send it for distribution. We can also use the Edit Text and Images tool to add new text within our document. We'll scroll back to the top, and if we right-click or Control-click on a Mac in the area where we want to create new text, we get a dialog box allowing us to add a text box or an image. We'll click Text Box, and now we can drag out a rectangle defining the box. We can type new text here, and as we type, we can press Enter or Return to continue on the next line. And notice that the box expands as needed. Remember, we have the full formatting controls here on the right. So we can select this and change the font face. We can change the font size and the font color, all very easily here within Acrobat 11. Now here's something that might cause you a little trouble though. When we chose the option to add a text box, Acrobat switched us to the Add Text tool. If we want to go back to editing existing text, we'll need to choose the Edit Text and Images tool once again. There you have the edit text capability within Acrobat While this is not intended to be a text authoring capability, it has nevertheless become quite flexible and robust, and for last-minute touch-ups to an almost finished document, this tool can be a lifesaver.